not do its job, which is regulate blood vessels that supply and deliver oxygen to the body cells and muscle tissue. When it does not do that, and when you have poor blood circulation, it leads into cardiovascular diseases, cardiovascular deaths too, a fatty heart, along with a fatty liver. When you have all this, when you have all these saturated fats, these foods high in cholesterol, these fats that are naturally high in cholesterol, and unnatural fats that we're putting into our body constantly, that have this LDL buildup, low density liver protein, that do nothing but deteriorates the body cells and muscle tissue, that deliver cholesterol to the body cells and muscle tissue, that does nothing for our body at that. But you want the natural cholesterol. You want the you want the fats that are low in cholesterol, so you can lower your cholesterol, that are low in cholesterol and not as reactive, being as reactive as polyunsaturated fats, saturated fats, as oils that are high in cholesterol, and along with that, high in cholesterol, high in fat as well. We could be looking at vegetable oil that's high in polyunsaturated fats, saturated fats, not much in monounsaturated fats. I think polyunsaturated fats that count in there is like 9, and monounsaturated fats is like 4. But there's ultimately like more for that in just increasing your cholesterol with all this unnatural cholesterol. Your liver is really at a halt. It does not know what to do yet with all this unnatural cholesterol. It's putting so much pressure on your liver. It leads into premature death. Dying, you don't even know. Dying early, you do not know what's coming. This is the thing, is that your organs can fail easily anytime if you do not take care of them. If you do not take care of your health, you can die at any time. It's simple. Premature death, even early, like even as a kid, you can have premature death very early, or like a baby, premature death too. This is what the pregnant women, they're like, oh, I'm gonna eat some chocolate. I'm gonna eat some donuts. I'm gonna have my cake because I want to kill my baby. Yes, that's basically it. But again, affecting the risk of your liver has to also do with diabetes, type 1 diabetes, premature death, bad liver function, and liver failure too, and also a fatty liver and a fatty heart too, because it goes back to the sugar we talk about. It stores it, it keeps the sugar in there, so it stores sugar and makes the sugar in the liver, so when it's the right time to burn off, utilize energy, you can have it. But the thing about this is that you want the fats that are low in cholesterol, don't have this LDL buildup that's high in cholesterol, low in the cholesterol, to lower your cholesterol, to control your cholesterol. All the things, we have obesity, we have occlusion, and obesity, occlusion, we have no blood circulation at all, cardiovascular deaths, cardiovascular diseases, a fatty heart, especially with the liver, when there's so much unnatural cholesterol, when there's so much fake cholesterol that we're putting back into our body. We don't have enough of natural cholesterol to keep our cholesterol level constant. So the things that happens that it overpowers the natural cholesterol, and ultimately none is made. It prevents it from making even more natural cholesterol with that overpowering amount of unnatural cholesterol. It just increases the risk of LDL, bad cholesterol, of high cholesterol, of LDL, low density liver protein, that is high in cholesterol, does nothing for the body cells and muscle tissue, but delivers and supplies cholesterol to the body cells and muscle tissue. That just deteriorates it, breaks it down, destroys your body from that point on. But you want the natural fats. You want the fats that are lower in cholesterol, to lower your cholesterol, and to also control your cholesterol. I want to make this video today for you guys. I love what I'm talking about. Anyways, hey, where did that come from? Okay, so we go along with cardiovascular death, along with being obese, having all this fat, having all of this fat, this muscular atrophy, which is, again, the fat there's a lot of body composition that surrounds muscle. It prevents vascularity, it prevents muscle tone, muscular hypertrophy, because the blood vessels cannot supply and deliver oxygen to the body cells and muscle tissue that it does need. And crucial from going muscle fiber simple complex, small to large, low capacity growth, to a higher capacity growth, muscle fiber type 1, muscle fiber type 2, which has a higher capacity to grow, which muscle fiber type 1 has lower capacity to grow. So we have more muscular hypertrophy, we have more muscle tone, we have more vascularity, and usually have an increasing basal metabolic rate. So what we have to focus on is muscular atrophy. It's the blood circulation is the truth I want to talk about in this video, and especially it has to do really a lot with the fats, the foods high in cholesterol, the foods high in unnatural cholesterol, that of LDL buildup rather than HDL buildup. That's a high density liver protein that is not nearly damaging your cholesterol as much as LDL, because it's meant for that. It's meant to kill your liver so you can have bad liver function, liver failure too, premature death, LDL, bad cholesterol, cholesterol spikes too. Narrowed arteries, when it's not flowing correctly and you have too much unnatural cholesterol, you don't have enough natural cholesterol being made in the liver. You prevent your liver from making the natural cholesterol, making the sugar that it does need. Since you're doing this, you're increasing the risk of premature death, cardiovascular death, and diseases when the heart cannot do stop and regulate the blood vessels so they can supply and deliver oxygen to the body cells and muscle tissue. So they keep growing, reproducing, and keep developing so they do not deteriorate, so they do not break down. So we do not have this major health factor come into it. We don't have bad blood circulation, and we don't have all this muscular atrophy that happens in this muscle mass decrease, and we have obesity risking, especially with low metabolism. You cannot burn off the food, you realize the energy keep burning off, so you can sense you cannot burn it off. You store it rather as fat, and you gain in body composition that you do not need. But talking about this in this video, I want to make sure that I get this down for you. So the fat classification, omega-3 fatty acids, alpha-linoleic acids. We talk about omega-7 fatty acids, omega-9 fatty acids. Omega-6 fatty acids is part of the polyunsaturated fat family. So when we talk about that, decrease your amount of that. Omega-9 fatty acids are things like eucraic acids. So that's an example. If we go back to omega-7 fatty acids, which are more palmitoleic acids, arsenic acids, that are crucial in lowering your cholesterol, balancing your cholesterol, make sure that does not increase. You do not get LDL, you don't have all this unnatural cholesterol that does nothing for your liver, but destroy it permanently. You have a fatty liver at this point, you have a fatty heart too, and that leads into cardiovascular deaths, strokes, heart attacks. It leads into LDL, bad cholesterol, cholesterol spikes. It leads into no blood circulation, obesity. It leads into that, muscular atrophy comes into the picture a hell lot. I just want to preach this in my video for you guys. I know I'm going back here into the light. So, along with the heart and the liver, it's mainly just take care of your body. This is why I start some breadstick first. You know, you can be going through a point where you have so much depression. You can be the saddest you've ever been. Nothing justifies destroying your body. Nothing at all justifies it. Nothing. It's unexcusable. You need to take care of your body, take care of your health. Because, you know, you only get one body, you don't get two. You don't. And once you destroy it, it's gone. There's nothing else of it. So this is why I want to make the video how to naturally lower your cholesterol with the fats, omega-3 fatty acids, along with that monounsaturated fats. More of the fats that are part of the monounsaturated fats family because they are lower in cholesterol, rather than the fats that are part of the polyunsaturated fat family. Have this LDL kind of build because polyunsaturated fats are more reactive than monounsaturated fats, since they're more reactive polyunsaturated fats. Because they're more reactive than more light saturated fats, they have this cholesterol, they're high in cholesterol, they carry the cholesterol with them, and along with the fats, the polyunsaturated fats, they carry the fats with them and the cholesterol with them. It's major on the heart, on the state of our heart, and the state of the liver too. You have all this unnatural cholesterol. Your liver makes natural cholesterol. Okay, it regulates cholesterol too. It makes sugar, and it regulates sugar too. It makes natural. You don't need all this unnatural cholesterol. It affects so much stuff down the line. Bad cholesterol. You have more LDL build that's higher in cholesterol. HCl is lower in cholesterol. High density lipoprotein rather than a low density lipoprotein that does nothing but tear your body cells and of tissue. And it does nothing but increase in the muscular atrophy that you have all of this fat. Its body composition prevents you from resetting your basal metabolic rate, prevents you from having a high metabolism, prevents you from having muscle tone and vascularity, prevents you from having muscular hypertrophy, from having actual hard earned okay, we stopped at that point. It prevents you from, having a, of course, with all this fat, prevents vascularity because you have all this fat, and then the veins can't show, and of course, since the veins can't show, and the vascularity is not, it's not a for sure, and since the vascularity is not for sure, you don't have muscle tone because you have all this fat. It's preventing your muscles from toning, so get under the caloric deficit, burn that fat off, increase your caloric intake in foods high in nutritional value, and broaden foods so you can get to point low metabolism to a high metabolism. You can digest more foods, burn off utilized energy, and then keep digesting more foods, get down to a hypercaloric state where you have more calories. You have a whole hell lot of calories you can burn off utilized energy. Keep growing your basal metabolic rate. But yeah, it prevents vascularity, and all along with this muscular atrophy, where we have this fat increase, we have also the damaging effects of this, is that it prevents, if there's a fat blockage, it prevents the body cells and muscle tissue, your blood vessels from supplying oxygen and delivering oxygen to body cells and muscle tissue to keep them going, to keep them in a good state of condition. So altogether in the video, I want to stress how to lower your cholesterol, which increasing amount of monounsaturated fat family fats that you have in your diet, along with omega-7 fatty acids, palmitoleic acids, salicylic acids, and just don't focus on omega-6 fatty acids. They're nothing good for you. They're higher in cholesterol. They have an LDL buildup. They do nothing for your cholesterol. They have bad effects. So much unnatural cholesterol that just increases amount of cholesterol spikes when your cholesterol is out of control. It's too out of control. If you're not really stabilized it, you have so many unnatural fats that you put into the body. Omega-6 fatty acids. You have so many fats along with that are high in cholesterol that you put into your body. Do nothing but increasing your chances of LDL, bad cholesterol, high cholesterol, cholesterol spikes, premature death, liver function, bad liver function, liver failure, too, and even at that. And when we talk about this, the fat, obesity, what does it... The thing about this is that you really do not know who you are. If you are struggling with being overweight, with being at a weight that you are not comfortable at, and that you are sad at, you do not know who you become after you lose the weight. So you can have things like vascularity, you can have things like muscle tone, muscular hypertrophy. So you can see all the hard work that you put in, and you can still have the results that you want, rather than to, oh, next summer I'm gonna change my body. It's, if you want your body, if you really want the ideal body that you have in your mind, the image, you have to work for it, and it's gonna take a long time. Every day, do it every day until you've. I'm pretty sure none of you feel this need to, this obligation, but I do, destroy my body, and I owe it to myself to do this every day I get out and make a video. I mean, it's something that definitely I'll never forget. And I'm pretty sure none of my fans, I'm Brad Second fans, will forget this either. I mean, it's going from a long time, guys. Almost 2 years, nearly 2 years. Going into making a video. There was many times, oh yeah, I look like Clark Kent, right? Superman. Anyways, I've been through a lot, along with my account. It's been through a lot of turmoil. There was a time that I shut down my account, actually. I deleted my account. And people were like, you can't do this. You cannot do this because you do not know what you're talking about. I showed them because I studied it. I still research to this day. And I still study everything I talk about because I have to have that logical answer. I have to have the answer. I have to be smart enough so if somebody asks me something, I can help them. I can be of use. I can have a purpose. I can still serve my purpose. Every day in my life, making a YouTube video for you guys. It's amazing. But again, having no blood circulation at all, having an increase in muscular atrophy with deterioration of the body cells and muscle tissue, increase in cholesterol, unnatural cholesterol. It does nothing to your liver, but increases chances of bad liver function, of liver failure, of a fatty liver that has so much fat, and that narrowed arteries too. You have all this unnatural cholesterol is not flowing correctly. You don't have enough natural cholesterol that is meant to flow in the arteries. This natural cholesterol keeps the arteries healthy. You have all this unnatural cholesterol that makes their flow, it makes it a little bit bouncy, a little bit narrowed. So it's not straightforward, it's a little bit narrowed, like boom. Like boom. It just stops. Anyways, yeah, it affects cardiovascular health too, with your heart too, because when you have all these fats, they're also destroying your liver too, increasing your chances of cardiovascular death. When the heart can do its main function, which is to regulate blood vessels to supply and deliver oxygen to the body cells and muscle tissue so that they do not deteriorate, so that you can stay healthy and that you can prevent things like cardiovascular diseases, dying of cardiovascular deaths, premature deaths, bad liver function, liver failure, and along with bad liver function and liver failure, you have LDL, bad cholesterol, high cholesterol, preventing unnatural cholesterol with all the LDL buildup fats that are high in cholesterol that do nothing but raise your cholesterol, and you have cholesterol spikes at this moment. It does nothing for you. So I wanted to give a moment of my time for you guys and my day to get a video across to you guys. I love you guys. And you know this. And the thing about this, it's been a hell lot of time since making my YouTube account. And I can still realize to this day that it's probably never gonna stop. I have ideals for days. And along with having ideals for days, my account will never be ending. So the thing about that is that just really help you guys with all this stuff, obesity, whether it's from raising your basal metabolic rate, getting a low metabolism to high metabolism, focusing on lowering your cholesterol, having more omega-7 fatty acids, omega-3 fatty acids too, alpha-linoleic, and linoleic at that point, alpha-linoleic, and just linoleic, omega-7 fatty acids. Not just that, but it's lowering your cholesterol, it's preventing you from developing so many diseases that come into point that none of you should witness. I mean, it's very, 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 very scary to come and part with these, especially if we're talking about omega-3 fatty acids, monounsaturated fat being part. Alpha-linoleic acids, we talk about omega-6 fatty acids too. They're not good because they're high in cholesterol, but you can have a balance of everything. Of omega-9 fatty acids, make sure you get the best out of your cholesterol. You can lower your cholesterol, and you keep your heart and liver intact. So you don't have obesity, you don't have muscular atrophy, you don't have little to no blood circulation, which is really important, especially for biosynthesis, catabolic breakdowns, and anabolic breakdowns. Make sure that muscle fibers aren't stunted and that metabolites aren't stunted, so you can gain muscle and that you can gain with your basal metabolic rate at the same time. So you can grow, you can reform a new body, you can have a new body, a new identity. Your real identity, as that pertains, is not. And I will tell you this. Nobody likes being overweight. Nobody likes being overweight. Nobody. You ask somebody, do you like being overweight? Do you like being fat? Guess what they'll answer? And I'm sure the sick people that it's nasty what they do for food. They just kill themselves. They don't care. And I mean, at the end of the day, everybody has somebody to care about. Everybody has a family. And what you're doing there is you're being so selfish. You're not thinking about